Good morning, world. Ninjas, nerds, sales professionals all around. Hope everybody's doing very well today. Sundance, on my way into the office. I got about 15 minutes before I get there. I wanted to talk today about competition. Competition is sometimes a dirty word for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's gotten a bad rap over the last decade, 15 years. I think, a lot of people point to the millennials. The millennials, I hate that. I'm not really sure exactly what it means or how it came into being. I think I'm Generation X technically, although I don't feel like any particular generation. I don't go around saying, oh, those kids these days. But the millennials got this tag, if you will, about having a lack of inspiration, a lack of competitive spirit, being entitled for certain things. I'm not positive, but I feel like every generation goes through this. I feel like the baby boomers looked at the Gen X kids and were like, "Oh, those kids, they don't know anything. They don't work hard enough. They don't punch a clock like we did at the factory." It's just different, right? Nowadays, it's not about the factories, in my opinion. It's all about the what's up here. Airbnb doesn't own a hotel, or Uber or Lyft, or none of those own their cars. I think it's just a different mentality now, but that competitive spirit is still there, right? It's just hidden a little bit. I think the homogenization of the competitive spirit, like we took away the good feelings from feeling, hey, I won, because when the opposite of that is when people lose, right? And some kids were losing, and we felt bad for them. And the kids, we didn't know how to flip that bad feeling into motivation. So we just try to take it away and say, oh, well, here you get the participation trophy, or you get the hey, I was there trophy. And so instead of making the kids who won feel really good, and the kids who lost feel bad, we just took it all away and said, hey, you were all there. And being there, though, it doesn't cut it. Being here, being there, it's not enough. Right? You got to know where you stand in the grand order, the grand scheme of things. So those millennials, they have that competitive spirit. We just got to reharness it. And if you're not at the top of your sales board, right? I want you to feel bad about it. I want you to be like, hey man, like, what's wrong with me? How do I fix this? Right? There's a woo woo woo. There's got to be like a sales emergency light going off in your head that says, hey, like, I got to fix this. I don't want to be at the bottom of the board. I want to be at the top of the board. How do I get there? Coach me. What do I do? Do I got to read? Do I got to watch some videos? Do I got to practice? Do I got to listen to my own phone calls? What do I got to do? So instead of making those people at the bottom feel okay and the people at the top feel okay, I think it's important to make the people at the top feel fantastic, because they did a very good job. They earned whatever it is that they sold, that they earned, that they did. Like, they did it. They need that award. They need that recognition. They need to get props, right? And if you're a manager out there, like, you need to prop your people out more. Leave them some voicemail. Shake their hand. Pat them on the back. Tell them when they did a good job, because we are so darn quick to tell people in our business when they didn't do a good job, right? And so that's when we think, oh, the millennials, they didn't even realize they weren't doing a good job. It's because we're focused on the people with the bad jobs. We should be focused on the people that did the good jobs. Give them a pat on the back. Tell them, hey, good job. Thumbs up. Right? And then the people that were at the bottom of the list. Now, our job is not to make them feel like dirt. Right? They weren't dirt. People have the skills. People have the ability. Now, if there's no drive there, if there's legitimately, like, they don't want to be there, then okay, that's different. But if somebody wants to be there, they want to help, then give them a helping hand, right? Sometimes people have a hard time asking for that helping hand, right? That's a pride thing. I do it. Sometimes I don't know how to do something, and I'd rather, like, I'm going to work it out myself rather than, read the instructions. So, it's a pride thing. It's a human thing. But if you offer a helping hand, it's just an open gesture, a lot of people will take you up on the assistance. The competitive spirit can be harnessed, can be used to drive a lot of folks. So many, many moons ago in the early 2000s, I started a company called Quicken Loans. I was already 30 years old at the time, right? I was older than most everybody. The age of the company was very, very much in their mid-20s, I think. Great training program at Quicken. It's not a Quicken sponsored thing, but man, I enjoyed the training quite a bit. I knew quite a bit by the time I hit the floor there, right? But I got I was lucky. I got drafted onto a team that was very, very competitive, had a lot of like top tier talent on that team. Hashtag TBL for life. Any of my TBLers out there, thank you. I learned a lot from you. One gentleman in particular though, a gentleman by the name of Jason Pace. If anybody knows Jason, tag him in this video. I'm driving, so I'm not tagging anybody. But Jason Pace was the top guy on TBL, the bottom line. And I joined this team, and I remember asking my boss, Brian Apple, thank you, Brian, you know, who the top guy was. I want to sit next to him. Brian's like, here, Jason Pace, he's going to be your mentor, yada, yada, yada. Okay, good. So I busted out a $100 bill, and I put it on Jason's desk and said, here we go, buddy. Like, you and me for whatever metric, at that point in time, I think it was locks or documents or something like that, right? So loans written in a month. And I wanted to spark this competitive drive, and he took me up on the offer. He looked at me a little funny, like, hey, man, who's this new guy, and why am I just taking his money? But that $100 was very well spent. So I gave that dude $100 basically, but I made him earn it, right? So for this $100, you know, I sat right next to him, and I think that first month, like, no kidding, I think I wrote 32 loans, and I think he wrote 34, right? Which, without the competitive, like, nature of the game, I might have written 17 or 12 or something. You know, I don't remember what the average was for that class, but I'm sure I was double it. And even Jason Pace, it was above his average, right? So I pushed him to get some more. And there were a couple late nights where he was like, man, this guy's pressing me. But here's what I did. I learned from him because of that competition. I learned what to do, what to say, how to do it, when to apply the gas, when not to. And all of the customers got better service as well because of that. It was a win-win scenario. I made more money, Jason made more money, Brian Apple made more money. Our customers, we were there later at night. Our customers still got people to answer the phone at 9 o'clock. You know, it was a competitive environment, so I wanted to make sure I earned the deal. So they, you know, may have gotten, you know, a better pricing because I was in such a mode to like, hey, I gotta get this. How do I get this? When do I get it? How do I get this customer to say yes? Right? And I saw all of those scenarios, and seeing 34 deals, you know, in the first month there, I learned I didn't just talk to 34 people. You know, I probably talked to, you know, 434 people before I found the 34 people to say yes, right? So I saw so many more scenarios, so many more people that could say no, right? And that no is okay, right? Because that no gets you to more yeses. So when you lose that competition, it's okay, because every time you lose, you got to learn something from it and use it as a driving force to get better, to get where you need to go, to get it to launch you to that next stage, right? There's a book out there, Go for No. 2 authors. I don't remember the second author's name. I barely remember the first author's name. I think her name is Andrea Waltz or Weltz. Andrea, sorry if I just butchered your name. But Go for No is not necessarily about competition and the competitive spirit, but it is about taking defeat and changing how it feels so that it feels like something positive, because every no gets you closer to a yes. And every competition that you enter and you give it all and you do everything, like, yes, you should get props for doing everything you had, even if you lost, and you should learn something from it. You still lost, right? You still weren't good enough, but you're one step closer. So use that competitive spirit, like, dig down deep, find it, because in the world of sales, if you don't have the competitive spirit, man, you might as well go bake cookies or something. All right? My name's Sundance Brennan. I'm the sales nerd. Sell well.